Hello, Starscream back again, and with bad lighting. Yeah, if I stay back a bit, I think it actually works better. Here to do a review of Beast Wars Dinobot. Really good character. Initially you would think, when it starts off, Beast Wars that is, you think he might have been a replacement for Starscream. Not at all. He's far too honourable, far too noble. And he's not a backstabbing, ruthless, sadistic little bastard like Starscream. Oh, I must admit I do like, but it's nothing like Dinobot at all. In actual fact, the character's quite original. If you compare it to any of the predecessors, Decepticons, Autobots, there's nobody like him before. So, we have Dinobot. And it's quite a nice figure. It's a strange name, Dinobot, isn't it? Because it doesn't really define the character. It's a liking of something. Say a Transformer transforms into something, I don't know, like a car. It's like calling the Transformer car. And he's a Dinobot, so he transforms into a dinosaur, so we call him Dinobot. Not very good, is it? But never mind. We can overlook the name for the sake of the character. Now, I'm afraid the lighting's not doing him justice. I'll give you a brief description of him. There's a few variations. As I said, he comes in the very first episode of Beast Wars, crash lands with Megatron. He thinks Megatron's basically bollocksed up, and he wants to assert his power. Unfortunately for Dinobot, Megatron is more powerful. Who do you know? And he fails. Then he tries to take over command of the Maximals over Optimus Primal, and he inevitably fails again. But Optimus Prime gives him the option of joining the ranks, and being an honourable warrior, as Dinobot is, he accepts it. I suppose on the proviso that maybe later on the lines he may take over command from Optimus Primal. It never happens, unfortunately. His final stand is in a canyon, trying to protect us humans, primates. He takes on practically the entire Predacon army. He succeeds in immobilizing all but one. Unfortunately, the one he doesn't immobilize is Megatron. And yet again, the Autobots, Maximals arrive too late to save him. He's too far gone for stasis lock, and his spark leaves his body, and he dies. He dies a warrior, like he always wanted. There's a lot leading up to this. He feels like he's betrayed the Maximals because he gives Megatron the golden discs, but that's going on another a storyline. I don't want to go too much into detail. Needless to say, he's an honourable warrior, and he dies one. Okay, you might think that's it for Dinobot, but Megatron gets hold of this trans-metal device thing, which empowers the Decepticons. Now, since Dinobot's dead, he has nothing to go on, but he does use half the spark of Rampage. I'm not going to explain how Rampage comes into it and why Prime uses Rampage's spark, but it transpires that he uses half of the spark and it creates a trans-metal body, and we have trans-metal Dinobot. The camera, I'm afraid, is not doing this justice because it's white and it's reflecting. So he's not a ghost, he's not very blingy, he's just, that's the thing. If I can get it a bit closer. Yeah, he has half a face of Dinobot and half a trans-metal face. It's not a bad transformation. As I said, he's a lot nastier than the original Dinobot. In the process of the transmutate's a different character, sorry. The trans-metal configuration, pardon me, he loses a bit of his character and his honour. Now, he does redeem it by the end. So he comes back and he says no to Megatron. Megatron wants him to blow up the primates again, who he originally sacrificed his life saving. And when push comes to shove, it rekindles some of his honour, and he says no to Megatron, much to the irritation of him, who blasts him. And he inevitably sacrifices himself at the end of Beast Wars to help Optimus Primal and the Maximals to complete their mission and get back to Cybertron. What a good story. Anyway, look. I'll talk about the toy. Very nice toy. The transformation, I said, unfortunately, the toy doesn't really reminisce the character too much. It does this, but this is the anniversary edition one, so it's actually in the proper colours. The other one's a bit pinker. It looks a bit odd. He did have a battle mask. If you notice quite close up, what is that? I'm putting away there. He's supposed to have a battle mask thing which flips over his head. Now, originally that was supposed to be in the CGI one. It used to flip up when they went to battle, but I think the actual costs of using it was far too high, so they just done away with it. The actual figures still have that option, but it's not in the actual Beast Wars CGI cartoon. Yeah, we said his hands become his feet, and his legs. The transformation's quite nice. As I said, there we go. Okay, come on, fella. These flip up. He was a hard one to come by a couple of years ago. I remember going to Transforce in the UK, and he was fetching between the region of £30 and £40. He doesn't do that now because there's a reissue one. Fold that back. Sorry, I'm blabbling again. And here we have his tail, which, as you know, flicks apart. Well, you may not know, actually, but it becomes his shield thing, which he pivots around like that. It does open up, and that's his sword thing, sits in the middle. But in the episode, he does tend to do a lot of this spinny action stuff. There we go. It's a nice dinosaur mode. Look. Well, actually, it's a raptor, isn't it, I think, out of... Well, we all come to know it from Jurassic Park. Quite a nice figure. That isn't done properly, Jimbo. No. There we go. Not a bad toy, is it? And the colorization of the reissue one is a lot more accurate to the cartoon, or the CGI incarnation of it. Here's a white version of him. Now, if I recall, and I think I'm right, this is Grimlock. So they recoloured Dinobot into Grimlock, and you can see he has the battle mask on, which if you see, if you just flip it apart, that's it, you see the head. But the reason I took the battle mask off the previous one is, well, look, you can't open it properly, and he looks like he's got no neck, and he looks like a bit of a numpty. But there we go. So that's the Grimlock variation. You probably pay a little bit more for him. I don't know why. Exactly the same toy. The Transmetal one is quite nice. I'm not going to transform him, I'm afraid, because he's really fiddly, and I think I'll mess it up. But as you can see, there's the spark part there. And there is an explanation as for why Rampage does it. Does it? As regards why Rampage spark is shared with Dinobot. I'll get there in the end. My brain's a bit slow today, I'm sorry. I hope that was some help with Dinobot. It's a nice figure. I want to do Sludge next, but I've tried to look in depth in some of the character profiles and what's happened, and there's just not a lot to go on. I will do it purely for a review of the toy, but other than that, there's not a lot of characters. He's the least developed Dinobot there is, I'm afraid. Anyway, that's Dinobot, all done and dusted as far as I'm concerned. And if you can get hold of the toy, especially the reissue one, which has, what's the episode now? Code of the Hero. That's the one where he sacrifices himself. Which it's a bargain. You get a decent toy, with the right colorization, and the disc of the episode where he dies. Poor chap. Packaged with his own death. There we go. Can't be helped. He's got his own coffin. Oh, there we go. That's review, and as I said, I'll try and do that one next. If anybody's interested to hear my opinion of the movie, I'm more than happy to rant and moan about it. But in the meantime, that's Starscream. I'll see you all out there, and take care, everybody.